Mars, and he's like that raging beast that's been in New England, and he's been thirsting for blood.
Yes.
Sure.
That boy is hungry. He wants food.
He wants to put points on the board because right now as it stands he has none. So it's going to be extra important as well. And this is only winners. So whoever drops out of this won't go into that, faded tweet like loser of this gets 33rd and they're both PGR players. This is actually, they're still in winners. They're okay. They're going to take their time. And we're going to see Zack actually right now go into a semi-flanking maneuver because he knows committing against Mars is dangerous.
Yes. He will carry this 8% lead as far as it can.
All right, well, and we're in.
Doesn't get the combo off of the down throw, uncharacteristic from Mars.
Now, in terms of CaptainZack, he was able to take Nairo last week at SCR Saga. So Zack has it in him, okay? But Mars is not Nairo. But the Zero Suit matchup is still there. So we're gonna see how he actually capitalizes on that because right now, he's being very conservative in a dead even 17%, 1 minute in. Oh, 18. All right, never mind.
Yeah, this is, I feel like a lot of people probably weren't expecting this from this set. These two players typically very sort of gun-ho, very fast, explosive, but they are taking their time, maybe knowing what both are able to do, what both are capable of. They are taking their time and just looking for opportunities where they can.
And that patience actually from Mars for that second up air was very keen on his part, only because with Zack's abilities to get out with witch twist and stuff, he was waiting to see what he did, and he actually clipped him with the up air. So let's see what happens with CaptainZack's up airs of his own.
Yes.
Because now it looks like we're getting into the thick of the game. No more flanking, no more conservative play.
I love this pressure from Mars. His ability to pressure with movement as well as his attack is so good.
It's been noted that Mars actually pressures with his aura, his ability to go around your shield and dance around and not actually do anything other than move is a skill and an ability that a lot of players lack. He doesn't jab your shield, although he will, but for the most part he goes around you, empty hops, and then he tries to get a reaction from you because based on the reaction you make, he can punish you.
That he can. Unfortunate drop on that boost kick. That was probably Bayonetta's stock.
Yeah, we are going to get a death in here within the next 30 seconds because these players are dangerously high. Obviously, Bayonetta is only at 97, but we know that Zero Suit can explode anybody with that down B.
And even that back air, Bayo being a very light character, that back air at the ledge will probably be enough.
For both of them. Mars is definitely at kill percent right now, 139. Many things can take him off the side as well as the top.
Lands from the dive kick, probably wanting to get the downward afterburner kick into the regular, into the up air.
All right, so we're now in the late phase of their neutral game of their first stock, so we're going to have to see how they close that out against each other when they both have so much rage and things don't link as much as they used to. Ooh, that was a bold down air from Zack.
Ooh, just missing out on that back air. Very close with that combo.
Great air dodge. The air dodge on that up air guaranteed that Mars is still in the game, sitting at 170.
But finally, the forward throw definitely enough to take out that stock.
That rage and that forward throw. It's not a kill throw per se, but it starts becoming a kill throw at those really relevant percents of 150 and higher.
Very nice from Zack, crouching under the back air, making it very difficult for Mars to get, and then tripping him up with that down tilt.
Yeah, and I like what you said at the beginning because as we were talking about Aperture and Ling Ling, two cerebral players, by contrast, I would say that Mars and Zack are just so in your face and just high octane the whole time, but they took their time in the beginning to the point where it was very, very mild. But now we're starting to see these shots being fired back. Zack coming back to a Mars at 70%. The New England crowd is, of course, going wild for Mars because it's their boy. It's their pride and joy, Mars.
Yes. #1 in New England, has been for quite some time.
He farms the monthlies here easily, uncontested. It's almost ridiculous. I think the one time he didn't get first at a Gums monthly was because he had a cold. Mars has to literally be physically ill to not win in New England. Not to say that New England is free, because at the same time, we've seen their caliber of players come up to the stage this tournament. It's just that Mars is that incredible.
Yes.
And for a lot of people, that was hard to believe in the beginning, because again, that region that doesn't travel, that region that doesn't have their own major, it's really hard to justify it. But we've seen Mars do his stuff all around the world now.
That we have. Now Mars is making a lot of good decisions in disadvantage, I feel. His timed air dodges when he's doing his jumps in contrast.
Not scare dodging. Very important against Bayonetta, of course, but these are top-level players.
Wow, the one witch time. And usually, CaptainZack is very liberal with witch time. He usually uses a lot when he's doing his combos, when he's landing. That was the only one that he's done that game, and Mars was not expecting it.
He had on the stage when he was grabbing the ledge did a witch time, because a lot of times characters like to dash attack onto the ledge. So he did have a witch time there. It wasn't met with anything, but he wasn't just witch timing to witch time. And so actually hiding that in his kit to the point where Mars might not, you know, keep it so present in mind that he could whip it out like that on a nair, that was brilliant on Zack's part.
Yes, definitely. And now I feel that may have an effect on Mars' gameplay at this game, because he'll have that in his mind a lot more of the time, which means Zack can start mixing up his options in different ways. Coming out. Witch time once again.
Oh no.
We're gonna get the down air. Yes, we are. And it's enough to take the stock
and that's so problematic.
early.
Okay, so now we're at a minute and a half. Okay,
Wow.
okay. What? Three things are going on right now. So we're at a minute and a half. Zack is now 14% and taunting Mars just to taunt Mars. And you have to think about the psychological damage that dying to witch time in the first minute and a half does to you. Sorry, no, the first 30 seconds.
30
now
seconds,
now we're approaching a minute, as well as getting witch time right when you get back again. So Zack is definitely taking advantage of that, because Mars' psyche right now is being challenged.
Yes. And not only did he get that second witch time, he didn't do anything off of it. Like, he
And
just
he did the
deliberate.
taunt.
He just taunted. Like,
He's like,
I'm that much better than you at the moment.
Like, you're being red, I'm gonna dance. You know what you're doing. Get it together, because I want to challenge. That's what Zack was saying with that second taunt. And now he's baiting it. Okay, this is okay, so all right. I'm tight. Okay, so Zack right now is playing one of the hypest mind games that I've seen in a while, because using taunts offensively like that gets you to try to hit them, right? But at the same time, you have to remember that Bayonetta and
drops out once again.
And taunts through that. Okay, Bayonetta has a Bayonetta has a taunt that you can cancel, right? So at the same time,
all of them. You can cancel all of them.
You try to run into it to punish her because you're so tight yourself, but now he's taking advantage of that too. Using a taunt offensively like this, I have not seen between two high-level players in a high-stakes match like this.
Wow, that was a very, very dominant game coming out from CaptainZack.
Oh my god.
That has got to sting for Mars. You know, he is New England's hero. He is the #1, and to get kind of disrespected, bamboozled
He got
like that on stream it's got to sting for the young man.